So Anthropic has agreed to pay Google $200 billion for chip and cloud access over the next few years. You know what they say in the AI world? More money, more money, more money. More money, less problems. Everybody knows how that works. I do think this is kind of an interesting thing to take a look at, where there's just so much money on the table right now. But there is this whole question about whether these bills will actually be paid or not. And when we take a look at this in this article, one of the big concerns that I have is they talk about a $2 trillion backlog in billables. That's one of the things you have to think about in the business world. Like when you do accounting, it's been a long time since I've actually had a real business and had to worry about this with accounting. But there's this whole thing when you do accounting and when you actually like register revenue, and there's two accounting ways you can do it. You have to basically stick with one accounting way when you do it. But you can either register revenue when the sale is done, right? So I sell you the product. Or you can track revenue based off of when you actually get the check. So most of us in a sane business world want to track when we're actually getting the checks, because that is when we actually get the money. But the thing is, there are very valid reasons for doing it and a crap ton of invalid reasons for doing it. But for standard accounting practices, you can track revenue basically based off of when the people sign the contract, for any number of reasons. What I'm getting really concerned about right now with this whole AI fraud that's going on is we're seeing all of these massive numbers, just massive, billions and hundreds and billions and trillions of dollars. You're like, oh my God, look at all the revenue, look at all the financial activity. But one of the things that gets left out of a lot of the conversations is this isn't how much money has traded hands. This is the value of the contracts if all parties satisfy the agreements of the contracts, if the cloud providers actually do provide all the services that they're supposed to provide, and if the AI companies don't go bankrupt and can actually pay for these services. And one of the things we're seeing now is the backlog in basically revenue is just getting to an extreme degree. Again, at this point in time, the backlog is $2 trillion. And you have to think about that. That's the backlog with kind of like normal business transactions. There's so many weird machinations going on right now with, you know, all that kind of stuff that probably does not show you the full value of basically everything that's been agreed to, but hasn't actually been paid for yet. And this is one of the things that I get really concerned about with the AI world, especially in 2025. Apparently AI deployments and all that were worth 1.5% of gain for GDP for the United States. That's how large all this stuff is, right? This isn't simply some, you know, technical arguments about how accounting should be done. We're talking about like 1.5% gain in national GDP for a country the size of the United States. That's a hell of a lot of money. The other thing I get concerned about is, I was just talking about this in another video, is I was listening to the All In podcast. So I go to the gym, I go to Planet Hollywood and do my hour. I go on the elliptical machine and I do an hour. In order to get my heart pumping, I listen to Tech Bros. So I listen to the All In podcast with Jason Calacanis and his cast of tech bro douches. And one of the interesting things is I think it was David Sachs. Again, I can't tell the difference between tech bros. Tech bros all look the same to me. I do believe it was David Sachs who was arguing whether or not you agree with AI, whether or not you like AI, you should support AI. Because AI is now driving so much of the US economy. Every American should want to support the US economy, ergo, you should support AI. Like, oh God. Tech bro logic. What could go wrong? And my concern here, though, is that this AI economy is being built on a house of cards. So the AI economy is being built on a house of cards. That house of cards is getting shakier by the day. And instead of being able to delineate why this AI is actually valuable to us as citizens of this country and the rest of it. Basically, it's being pawned off that because it's making money, maybe we need to support it because it's making money. And this is the kind of thing that makes me really nervous about all of this, and why I think it's all going to go boom. I know it's all going to go boom. I can put $5 on the table. It's all going to go boom. We've already seen this before. But anyways, this is coming from Engadget. Anthropic reportedly agrees to pay Google $200 billion for chips and cloud access. So this is only Google. This is not their data centers. This is not AWS. This is not anybody else. It's just Google. We learned earlier this month that Google and Anthropic had inked a deal that would grant the creator of Claude AI models access to cloud servers and chips. Today, the information reported that Anthropic has agreed to pay a staggering $200 billion to Google over the next 5 years. So $40 billion a year just for one contract. The information claims that the deals with Anthropic and OpenAI responsible for a revenue backlog of $2 trillion across Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle. These cloud service providers have been early investors in the AI boom, gambling that the startups need for the resources as they grow would yield lucrative dividends. So far, they've been correct. Previous projections estimated that server costs in 2026 could reach $45 billion for OpenAI and $20 billion for Anthropic. So the idea is that there's a $2 trillion backlog for all of these, the revenue for all of these contracts, but the growth, the demand for these AI companies is going through the roof. Therefore, it should all be good. Here's a problem. What if it's going through the roof? Because this is the boom cycle before the bust cycle happens. In order to have a bust, you must have a boom. So this is the weird arguments we're getting into with the AI fraud right now. Well, obviously this level of investment makes sense because they're getting all of these contracts for more AI. Again, as I talked about this before, they've been pushing this whole idea more and more that AI implementation is being restricted by compute. Right? That basically there is more need for AI right now than there are compute resources in order to actually provide AI services. But my argument is, if you look at OpenAI, I do believe they say 90% of their users are free users, right? When I go to Google now and I type in something that would have just been a normal search query in the past, I now always get an AI result. When I'm doing my little coding projects, right now I'm playing with my little Picos, my Pi Picos. I go to Claude Code. I don't even log in. I literally don't even log in. I just use their free service. It's amazing how much you get out of their free service. And so it's like, look, obviously we need to grow capacity because our usage is only constrained by capacity. You're like, yeah, but how much of your usage is by non-paid users? I literally, I'm the perfect example. I went from being a paying user, I was paying, to now I'm a non-paying user because why pay? Why pay? I can get everything I want for free, right? And that's the kind of weird stuff that is going on right now. So anyways, I don't know. Anthropic is getting even deeper into this. This idiocy is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's going to blow up. I mean, it's all going to blow up. It's interesting right now. Again, we have OpenAI, right? This is the year of productivity, right? Because they know people don't know how to actually make AI productive. We have, I think it's OpenAI and Anthropic. They're getting in the bed with private equity firms. The private equity firms are going to force their companies that they own to use AI, and get a commission kickback. Again, nothing talks about the value of a technology product like when you have to force your users to use it. It's interesting right now. It's Anthropic. OpenAI might be involved too. It looks like they're going to start buying consulting firms. Again, for this whole implementation issue. Not enough people know like what the hell to do with AI to begin with. They're literally going to buy consulting firms to upskill people to be able to use artificial intelligence to then try to go out and sell more AI to companies. Like when I start putting this on the table, What part of this makes you comfortable with a $2 trillion backlog in contracts for these cloud companies? The other interesting thing, listening to the All In podcast yesterday, is they were talking about the usage of artificial intelligence. And it's funny how they say things with a straight face. And you're like, do you know what you said? Literally, they were talking about, well, I was really curious. They're talking about the architectures of basically these LLM systems and how you can redesign these models and these neural networks to be able to provide more resources for less cost. And so basically they're talking about that relatively soon, you'll be able to get, like a 120 billion parameter model. You'll be able to run that for 10x fewer resources. Right? So the idea is, okay, these companies are building all of these data centers. That's incredibly expensive. But what you have to realize is once they can configure the coding or whatever, they can get 10x the utilization out of the data centers. That's why it makes sense. But here's the thing, right? This is brand new. This is my brand new MacBook 5, 128 gigs of RAM. That thing can run GPT OSS at 120 billion parameters, and it actually can run it pretty well. Gives me about 79 tokens per second for processing. Here's the thing. Think about this for a second. So if you say, so this is, let's say, a $5,000 computer. This $5,000 computer can currently run 120 billion parameter model. So you say they're going to fix how these models work in the future, redesign them so that they can run on 10x fewer resources. That means, simply based off of coding and program design, architecture, you could design these systems to give the same results off of a $500 computer. And then you have to start thinking about it. It's like, well, wait a minute. Again, if you look at 120 billion parameter results, they're fine. They're fine for most people, right? So if you can get 120 billion parameter results off of your local system, doesn't even have to go off of system, then why are you going to be using all of these resources that these AI companies are spinning up? And the funny part is when you listen to the AI people, they basically explain to you the fraud without even realizing that they're explaining to you the fraud. So anyways, this is just going to keep going. So Anthropic, again, $200 billion going into Google on top of all of their other commitments, $2 trillion backlog in revenue. This is just bat crap crazy. And it's just going to be bad. I mean, think about it. Who would buy a web browser? Who would buy a web browser? Who would buy a web server once Apache came out, or Nginx, or whatever else? Think about all of this incredibly valuable technology that we use nowadays. Think about this technology that literally changed the world, but functionally is essentially worthless. Right? There's if capitalism, right? I got the book to prove it. Look at this. It's sitting on my shelf. I still need to finish it. It's a big book. But anyways, Karl Marx, Capital, Volume 1. My God. Anyways, right, there's utility value and commerce value and all of that kind of stuff. Question with all this is, like, what's the actual value? I don't know. Anyways, what do you think? Put your thoughts down below. If you want these videos or whatever in podcast format, you can go to Spotify and you can go to Apple Podcasts. Links are in the doobly-doo. And with that, see y'all later.